Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's James again. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who watched the last video. Appreciate it. Appreciate the comments and the few subscribers we got from that. So, thank you very much. I'm covered in wool pad, which we'll talk about that in a second. But I'm working on the Omni again. I spent most of the day yesterday, and I'll got the clip of that right now. We drove it through the yard up front and gave it a quick little wash, drove it back, and then we had bought some cheap compound and a buffer at Hobo Freight. And we got to cutting on the paint a little bit to see if we could bring any of it back, and recorded a bunch of that. Wasn't super happy with it once I put it on my computer last night and started going through it. And tell you the truth, I wasn't really happy with the results I was getting. That damn rooster. So what I was using yesterday was a foam pad and some compound I got from Harbor Freight. I've never used the foam pads before. I'm not disappointed in them. I think the pad did fine. You can get some different grade pads. I got like a medium. I just think the compound I got or from there was not aggressive enough. Um, they had probably what I should have used, but it was like $30, and I was being cheap and bought the cheaper stuff. So this morning I went down, got some turtle wax rubbing compound from O'Reilly's, because this was probably about the best stuff that they had. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to bite the bullet and order some 3M and spend like $60. I'm gonna kill that. I'm gonna kill that rooster. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna go probably bite the bullet and get some 3M. Spend about $60 on a big bottle and just bite it. But we get over here and show you kind of where we're at. Pick you up here. So this is where we got on the hood. I taped it off so get the professional YouTube buffing video where you could see the before and after. So not disappointed with how the hood turned out at all. There were just some spots on the side where like the top of the fender, you can see down there where how white it was before. So it is better. It's just I can see some spots in the paint that are probably not going to pick up on camera, but I can definitely see some spots in the paint that are not just not coming out. But if the rest of the car comes out like the hood, I'm going to be ecstatic, because again, this is not going to be a show car. I just want it to be kind of a cool little cruiser, because it's kind of what it is. The GLH non-turbos, you just don't see them anymore. Most people have turbo swapped them or whatever. I mean, they didn't make that many to begin with, and there's even less on the still left around. So I know from years and years and years of watching YouTube that you guys probably don't want to see some old fat guy buff a car. So I'm going to get the buffer there with the wool pad out and start on the other side of the hood, mess around with it a little bit, and then we'll bring you back and kind of show you what it looks like when we're done. So see you in a minute. All right, we're back. It's no longer the weekend. I worked. Let me get this camera. I don't have my little tripod with me. Worked most of the day Saturday and Sunday working on this car. I put a bunch of hours in Sunday, and when I was done, I was beat. I'm getting too old to do this manual labor crap. But anyway, we buffed the whole car out. Again, like I mentioned before, I really don't want to show, record, it was like 12 hours of me buffing on a car, because I don't really know a way to make that interesting. But who knows? Some of you may enjoy watching me suffer like that. So anyway, took yesterday off. This is back at work after the weekend, and come back out here on Tuesday night. And well, let's just take a look. Put the camera around. So here it is. Here's the finished result. Uh, my opinion, I think it turned out pretty good. There's definitely quite a few spots on the car that need more work. I was most impressed on the roof. Let me get an angle where the sun's not just completely bleaching it out. I don't know if that's going to be possible today. But yeah, roof and the hood and the rear hatch, I think, turned out great. You know, even though they got this, you know, the big spot over here where it's just primer and rust, I think it looks cool. I mean, I'd almost much rather drive a car that had some character like that than one that was like perfect. But then you get some spots. Well, let's start down here, like down around this edge. The whole belt line of this car seemed to be the biggest issues I were having. And then like spots up here where I really couldn't get in there with a buffer. I think I need to get like a smaller buffer wheel or something. Or actually, I'll talk about what I think I'm going to do here in a minute. Car turned out great. Above the doors, still has some of that white haze coming through. And I worked and worked and worked and worked on them. The bottom half of the doors, and that one still got a bunch of splatter on it. So maybe I'll go over to the other side. Still a lot I need to clean off on it too. I mean, I was a beat after 12 hours of buffing on this thing. But from the belt moldings down, buffed beautifully, like one pass, and they turned out, they look new. I mean, they are really good. Above the trim line on the doors, fenders, they're just a bear. And I worked and worked and worked on those things and just could not get them to come out to look like what the hood, the bottom of the doors, the roof, those all came out really nice. Like for me, passable. Like throw a coat of wax on it, that's how it's going to stay for the rest of its life. I love the, the little bit of patina it's got on it. And as I was going around the car more and more, I did notice, I think the reason why it's missing the stripes on this side is because somebody tried to take them off at one point in its life, and they absolutely butchered the paint up through here. Like the car doesn't look bad enough, but geez, to have those. So I've been trying to think. I mean, I think it'd be easy enough to either get the paint and tape them off and like paint it like a little spray bomb, or there's some type of sticker. I don't know if it's vinyl. I think like the lighter color there almost has like a reflective property to it, or just get the 3-color vinyl and put some more stripes on it. The hood, these were definitely stickers, because as I got into this area here where they were missing, this was a bare too, because the old residue. And I think those would be easy enough. It looks like maybe they had 3 stripes, even though I don't think either side has the 3rd stripe. No. Yeah, anyway, and then definitely a painted black stripe down this way. So, what I think I'm going to do with this, I was watching a video today. One of the channels I'm subscribed to is called Budget Builds. I'll pop up something on the screen here if you can check them out. Small YouTube channel, father son. They do some really cool stuff, like really cool stuff that I would, eventually love to be able to get to that point of doing car stuff like what they do. But today, their video, or it was actually probably from a couple of days ago, they were buffing and color correcting on a Duster, a much cooler Dodge, but a Dodge nonetheless. And I'll just keep kind of walking around the car here as I talk. So they were doing a color correction on a Dodge that had decent paint, but it was super faded, kind of like our little Omni here. And one step that they took that I didn't really think of was they wet sanded pretty much the whole car to help get the dead paint off, and then they buffed it. So while I think there's some areas of this car that probably don't have enough paint on it to wet sand, like around these areas, I mean, it would just be opening up, more primer spots. But I think these places above the door where I just can't quite get, I just can't get the paint back like I want. I think getting some really fine wet sandpaper, and I think I have some somewhere. I got to dig it up. But to get some really fine sandpaper and wet sand those areas, and then go back over them with the buff, I think that's going to be the play. And I think I might even be able to get, if I wet sand it, I might be able to get all this stuff off the hood. Because if anything on the car, it's the hood, the little pinstripe graphics, and then the black. I think this black here, if we wet sand that, we could probably get this out. And if we can't get it out, we could definitely get it to a point where we could repaint it. Edit. So what is our plan with this going forward? Well, I definitely want to do what I just talked about. I want to wet sand some of these spots, see if we can get the paint out a little nicer than what it is. I'm happy with 90% of it. Definitely want to do little things, like I want to pull the bumpers off. Not off, probably could leave them on, but pull the bumper caps off. I want to sand down the bumpers completely and repaint those. Things like that mirror there, those need to be repainted. This black trim up around the windshields, I want to sand all that down and paint it, because that's some of the patina I don't want on the car. I don't mind the stuff on the paint, but that stuff. And then on some of the plastic parts, see if I can get a trim restore, like the bumper ends, the side skirts, the grill, stuff like that. Get a some type of bumper restoring, whatever, bumper black. But the big news is, for the floor pans, we got a big update today. I broke down the other weekend and just decided to order a welder. I got the Easy MiG 90, I think it is, MiG 90 from Eastwood. It's a really small gas MiG welder. And from everything I've seen and looked at reviews and stuff online, it's perfect for doing sheet metal, just not much anything bigger than that, which is perfect. I mean, but the only thing we're ever going to do is maybe exhaust the, bracket here or there, and then these floor pans. So that came in today. So I've got the MiG here. I've already researched. There's a welding supply a couple miles from my house. They have bottles in stock, so I need to get the gas, and then I'm going to need to get some sheet metal. I haven't really heard back anything on the lead I had for some floor pans, but that's, whatever. I was going to do it out of sheet metal anyway. So here and around the city where I live in, there is a metal supply depot, I think it's called, or something like that. I priced out some metal sheets. I think I'm just going to start with a couple small sheets and see where we go. But I could pretty much stop in any time during the week and get those. I work down towards the city, so it's not a big deal to stop in and get that. And then we're going to start cutting and welding in patches. That's probably going to be a multiple step process. I want to start with something small and then work my way up to the bigger areas. I've already been kind of planning out in my head some of the spots in there and how I'm going to do it. But like anything else, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So I think I'm getting ready to get punched in the face with starting this. So anyway, I'm going to throw in a couple of clips from all the video that I had over the last couple days that I pretty much just throwing away because I didn't use it. And hopefully you enjoy the videos. Hopefully this sounds better. I record this on my phone. I don't have a camera to record this. I've got a cheap USB mic that I bought off of Amazon because the mic on the phone couldn't pick up at a distance. Like this is probably be fine, but they couldn't pick up from a distance. But anyway, change some encoding things on the phone. Hopefully the sound is better. Let me know. And if you enjoy this so far, hit that subscribe button because there's going to be the content's just ramping up. This is just some little stuff we're doing on the side until the welder got here, and now the welder's here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. That damn rooster. Joys of Amazon was able to get them here this morning. So damn it, I've got roosters. I've got the neighbor's dog. I've been quiet all day until I go to record, do something. Let him in. Jesus. Just while we're out here, what I was using, we got a little Harbor Freight electric pressure washer. It's a terrible pressure washer, but it's really good for washing cars. And that's about all it's good for. And here's the other car. It lives up front in the garage because, as you can see, this is a tiny garage. And it's one of the few cars that can fit in here. So even up against the wall, you can barely get in and out of it. But maybe we'll do a video about this car one day. There's a couple on the channel where I'm doing stuff on it, but I don't ever really talk about it.